Hello, you guys. I would like to talk about some ways that I helped my kids expand their vocabulary when they were itty bitty so that they could articulate their words and learn new words quickly. And every child is going to be different. My oldest started talking around 1.5 years and never stopped. And my 3-year-old now, he's a big talker too, but it took him until about 2.5 to really want to start babbling on. It's just different for all kids, and so I just want to tell you guys some of the things that helped us in our journey and how I just keep introducing my kids to new words and just keep expanding their vocabulary. Even now, some of these are really good, especially with us starting homeschool this year with my oldest and doing kindergarten. So I'm gonna get right into them. Number 1, start with the ABCs. I know that with babies or like before they're, 2, they're not really gonna understand the alphabet. I started out getting fridge magnets, like the little ABC magnets you can put on the fridge and they can make words and everything. I started out with those and familiarizing with ABCs. Also, you can just sing the ABC song. There's even some YouTube videos you can do of the ABCs. And so just familiarizing with the ABCs is just how I started with my oldest and youngest, really. And so that is really important. That's pretty much the foundation for all words is the ABCs. So that's a great way to start. Number 2 is just reading with your kids. Even if you're reading the same book over and over, or as we like to do, we use the free resource, which is the library, and we get new books about different topics. And if you read things they're interested in and they're right there with you and you're kind of like pointing to every word you're reading, that really helps them. And now my oldest is almost to where he wants to read books by himself, but he still really likes for me to sit down and read with him. And it's really helped him, like now that I've been reading for him or with him for so long, because now that he started school, it's not really something that's out of the ordinary for him. It wasn't like a chore or a homework or anything. It was just like, oh cool, we're gonna read some books. And I let him go to the library, and he has his own little library card now that he's 5, and he just really enjoys picking his own books out. Number 3 is super important for little ones. Let them ask lots of questions. I know sometimes as a mom or as a parent, you're like, oh my goodness, this is overstimulating, because they're like, mommy, what's this? Mommy, where's this? Mommy, can we do this? And I know it sometimes can drive you a little bit crazy, but in reality, whenever kids are asking questions, they're learning something. And I put as a point right here with let them ask questions is ask them questions back. Like, how are you feeling today? Or what did you think about this? Or just little things like that to kind of question them back. And if they ask you something, you could turn it right back into a question. I do that with my 5-year-old, and he has learned a lot that way. He'll ask me about a certain topic and we'll just rabbit hole it, and he learns a lot that way. We expand our vocabulary by learning. So it's really awesome when they can feel comfortable to ask questions and you answer them to the best of your knowledge, and they're learning that way. Number 4 is explore new things with them. We do this in a lot of ways, but my favorite way is going outside. There has been many times that we go outside and I'm learning something new, especially with that like Google search where you could take a picture of a certain bug or a certain kind of butterfly or moth or something, and then we learn about that specific bug. And last year I remember us learning a lot about cicadas, because there was a ton of cicadas where we live. When you're outside and they're like, hey, what is this? Don't just be like, I'm not sure. You just try to figure out yourself and give them an answer to their question. It really helps them, and you might learn a thing or two as well. Okay, as parents or as mothers, we can't be the teacher 24/7 and this is currently something that's going on in my house at this very second, is find educational videos that you trust on YouTube, kind of pre-watch some stuff, because anybody could put anything on YouTube, kind of. Right now, we like to watch Word World. It is a PBS Kids show, and it's just everything is made out of words. Like the dog, you can see that it's made out of like the letters D-O-G, of course. And then there's like a bunch of little animals, and then they build words together. And my kids like really get into it, and I feel like they're learning. Also, if your kids are like super small, my 3-year-old is kind of getting out of wanting to watch this right now, but Miss Rachel's cool. Bilingual Little Stars is almost like Miss Rachel. I hope I'm not being offensive, but it's almost like Miss Rachel, but Spanish. And so we really like that as well. Honestly, with our family being Mexican American, I do choose that over Miss Rachel, but Miss Rachel's still pretty cool. Just a lot of science videos, even some documentaries, as long as they're not like put you to sleep, but they have some really good kids documentaries that kind of engage with the kids and stuff. So I like finding animal things as well, learning animal facts and stuff. So you can find all kinds of things on YouTube, because mommy can't be the teacher every second of the day. So that's a good resource, and it's free as well. The last one that I'm going to touch on is just read all kinds of signs. Like at the grocery store, we read prices and signs together, and that way I can kind of teach my oldest about like how much things cost and like the value of money, which is really crazy right now. Food prices about make me sick. But the first sign that I taught my oldest was the stop sign. And then if he would see one in the distance, when he was about 2 or 3, he would actually yell, "Stop!" in the car. And it about freaked me out a couple of times, because I'm like, oh. But yeah, he knew what a stop sign was really early, and he knows like green for go, slow is yellow, and stop for red at stoplights and stuff too. And so it's just really cool to teach your kids like little stuff. I mean, just engage with them in conversation and you won't regret it. And these are some ways to kind of help your children expand their vocabulary. But a little disclaimer is that all kids are going to learn differently. And just have some patience if your child is having a little bit of, if your child is having trouble.
It's a Mustang.
Like, yeah, it is a Mustang. Good job.
I want to play with it.
Yeah, it is a Mustang. What in the world? But if your child is having issues learning, just be very patient, and you can always get professional help. But this was just a video to tell you about my experiences with toddlers and trying to help them learn in any way that I can. Thank you guys for joining us, and I will see you next time.